EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Located in Troon, Scotland, founded in 1878, Royal Troon Golf Club playing host to the Open Championship 8 times and is slated to host its 9th major championship in 2016. I'm Rich Lerner for EA Sports. Alongside me today, my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. Frank, you've played in the Open Championship on a couple of occasions here at Royal Troon. It's a golf course that features some breathtaking scenery, and it can also serve up some breathtaking golf.
True links golf course, Rich. Relatively soft start can certainly lull you into that false sense of security, and then the golf course really starts to open up. That homeward 9, often coming back into a prevailing breeze, is very much a stern test.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. 1 under early in the round. Frank, another great example of links golf. It's not a particularly long hole, but there is trouble if you hit it offline.
Yeah, there's a bunker down there at about 280 yards that has to be avoided. Only the long hitters or perhaps the wind behind your back is the reason to take that bunker on.
Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Oh, I thought he had that. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Not a real hard game, is it? Birdie to open. Now at the third hole here at Royal Troon, and Frank, another sort of short par 4, just 379 yards.
Simplicity's the key here, Rich. You don't really want to hit the ball more than 280 yards. Reason why is there's a burn there. And then from there, still only a wedge into a green that has 2 tiers.
So at the third, the approach is on the green, but it's a long ways from the cup, about 30 feet away. And getting ready for the putt. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one. Well, Rich, if he can make this one, add it to that string of birdies.
Generating some momentum now. Here's the first par 5 on the golf course. It's the 4th hole. Frank, how good of a scoring opportunity is this?
Certainly one of the best opportunities on the front side. There's 3 bunkers, but really the one that you focus on is the one on the right. If you can carry that, that's certainly the one to take on, because that ball will kick a lot further down the fairway. And sometimes you can be left with just a mid-iron into this green. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
Not easy to control from that kind of a lie, is it, Frank?
No, obviously you could see in the back of his mind, don't go left. So it just depends how far right this is going to finish.
Just 5 feet left. Drops another birdie and moves to 4 under on the day. On to the 5th hole now, Frank, and this is really where the old course starts to test the golfers. It's just over 200 yards. You happy with a par 3 here?
You are. This is one of the toughest shots, certainly on the outward 9. There's 4 bunkers of this par 3. You don't really worry about the one that's short left, but the one just on the front right of the green is the biggest concern. You've either got to go around it or carry it. Rich, I'm starting to lose count. This is just birdie after birdie.
It's all-time stuff. I mean, this is territory we just don't visit very often. What a good hole. They call it the slopes. And the rough off the right-hand side of the green, really some of the most punishing on the entire course.
Yeah, and the one thing you don't want to do is actually leave it up there on that high side, because it means that you'll be chipping downhill.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
Looking to keep it going here, Frank.
Yeah, another example of things just working as they should.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Now to 7 under par. Frank, we're moving inland now to the 7th hole. It's a 405-yard par 4. What's ahead?
Little dogleg to the right, and a couple of bunkers right on the corner of it. So once again, check the breeze and somehow find that fairway.
Good contact, good result.
Oh, they've had some meat behind it.
Frank, this is the way you draw it up. This is how the game's supposed to be played.
Yeah, so far, everything going according to plan.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Count it as 6 birdies for the day. Frank, here we are. All of 123 yards. It's a famous postage stamp hole.
It sits up there nice and proud. It's protected by 5 bunkers, but avoid the ones on the right. They're the deepest, all the way down on that right side.
That's a solid shot here into the 8th hole, and a good chance now for another birdie. For birdie. Really has a feel on these greens. That is another birdie. This is impressive. Frank, the 9th hole, 423 yards, not especially long by today's standards. You looking to make birdie here? You happy to make a par and move on to the back 9?
Well, there's certainly a chance for birdie. One of the hardest things about the 9th is the raised green. And it's sort of, there's 2 tiers here, just the top level. If that pin is on the top level, then you would certainly walk away with 4 very happily.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, getting set for the back 9 here at historic Royal Troon. What's the 10th hole all about, Frank?
It's called Sandhills, and that's for a reason. Blind tee shot, especially from the championship tees, where you hit it over the sandhills. Ideally, you want to hit the ball about 280, 290 yards.
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Well, the great hits just keep coming. Moves to -11 on the day. That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Wow, Frank, look at that one run out. Just blistered that tee shot.
That has to be 325 if it's an inch.
Good looking shot right here. Oh my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking he might get it close. And just a great shot.
Back here at the 12th, and this is a hole that heads back towards the water. You might not see your tee shot land over the ridge in the middle of the fairway here, Frank, so what's the best strategy?
Well, it's called the fox, and you have to be cunning like a fox here. This one has a slight bend to the right, and a little like the previous hole, this is another fairway that certainly requires your best tee shot.
Oh, dude, that in the hole. Tremendous shot. Frank, on paper, 13 seems pretty straightforward, but it's not that simple, is it?
No, very stringent tee shot. Gorse right and left, plus a little sort of mound with some rough on down the right side. So really, you've got to hit the ball down, not just the fairway, but the left side of the fairway.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, what kind of par 3 is the 14th here?
You can get sucked in here. Just 180 yards, which isn't considered that long. But if you look too much at the front of the green, you're going to see that's where the protection is.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. At the 15th, this par 4 is over 480 yards.
The key here really is the 3 bunkers, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. 260 yards gets you past that. If you find the fairway here, then you don't have to worry about the 3 bunkers that are short of this green.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Well, this is the kind of strong wind that will really test a player. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Safely aboard. Frankie seems to have found something already. 2 birdies in a row and now another chance.
It's all starting to flow here. This is really important. He's starting to play well, so finish it off here for 3 in a row.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that.
Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is going.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
And it is down for an eagle. 17th here at Royal Troon. This is a very strong par 3, isn't it, Frank?
Well, if rabbits have teeth, then this is why it's called rabbit. Very, very strong par 3.
That's well played. Places it about 10 feet out for birdie.
Second shot. Comfortably knocks it in.
Frank, how does this 18th hole here at Royal Troon stack up against some of the other finishing holes in major championship golf?
Rich, it's a stout par 4, 464 yards, so it's sort of in the ilk of a Muirfield or Royal St. George's finishing hole. And they've had some great 18th holes in Open Championships. This is actually called Craig End, and it's the name of the old farm that was demolished at the turn of the century. So the 18th hole, it's certainly grown up, and it's flourished to more than a farm.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Settles in over the putt. And no problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Really good round out there today. What's the mindset, Frank, to keep it going?
First thing, really, Rich, just try and keep the same composure.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Always a pleasure to be along the coast of Maine, Lighthouse Point to be exact. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Frank, this is sure to be another exciting day of golf out there. What are the challenges facing our players today?
The length of the golf course for a start, Rich. This golf course just under 7,700 yards. It's one of the longest ones you'll play. And of course the cliffs, that's why it's called this, they certainly are in play. There is one double green out there, that's the 10th and the 13th hole, they share the same green. Lots of great design features, and you've got it on a prime day in great condition. So enjoy the round and make sure you feast on the vistas as well.
Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. I'm thinking about 90 yards from here. That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. That's all he wanted to do there.
Yeah, it's touch. And when you think from that distance, chances of making are almost none. So to guarantee a two-putt, well done.
Even par early on. Now at the second here at Lighthouse Point, Frank, this is some tough par three.
If you want to try and really break the hole down and be a purist here, Rich, you'd like to hit a little cut into this green, something that moves away from the water and the cliff back towards that bunker. That would be the perfect shot to hit. But such a difficult par three, anything on the green would be good here. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. In the hole, and that'll bring the score to 1 under. Now the third hole here at Lighthouse Point, par 5, 566 yards. Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
315. From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Well, here at the par 4 fourth, 411 yards, Frank, this is the kind of hole where you want to pull out the cell phone and maybe take a few pictures because the views are absolutely amazing.
And you also see why this golf course is called the Cliffs, that's for sure. Great vistas. This front nine completely lines the coast, so you're going to need to keep it fairly straight on this golf course. This hole in particular, though, the fairway is actually rather generous, so you do get a little bit of reprieve off the tee, and you really want to hit the fairway because that green is very tiny, Rich.
Down, little Sheba, down! Just averted danger right there, so close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Frank, this would be huge.
Oh, it's got that strut going, everything. This is when that hole starts to look a little bit bigger. You really feel like you can start to make everything.
Well done. Another birdie, and now 3 under par. Fifth hole now at Lighthouse Point. Frank, it's a beefy par 4.
Another hole without any fairway bunkers off the tee, but really the main defense here at the Cliffs is the elements. Find the fairway, and you'll also be hitting to a green which is protected by a little bunker to the right side of that and short. So precision, once again, required here.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Well done on the approach shot. Inside of 10 feet, he'll be very happy with that. Getting set now over the putt. So to 4 under with a second straight birdie. Now at the 6th hole, it's a par 3, just under 200 yards. Where's the challenge here, Frank?
Well, you've got to love that bunker on the left side, Rich, especially because it's shaped like a letter L. Got to fly that. Green's not too deep, so really the challenge is trying to flight that ball in amongst the breeze should it kick up.
That would be a great look at birdie. Now a 7-footer. 5 birdies for the day. What a performance. Now to the 7th hole here at Lighthouse Point. Frank, we all love the shorter par 4s.
There's so many decisions to be made here at 7. You look at the scorecard, it's not very long, but when you start to flash your driver down that right side, you'll notice that fairway gets very narrow. So the decision is really that's the prudent play or not. From there, it's just a short iron in, and you should be looking at birdie.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track.
I've heard of being on the zone, but this is he's just making it look so easy.
Just sensational golf. I mean, he is knocking down every flagstick right now. What a performance. So just a formality here. Did the job right there. Getting set at the 8th hole. It's a par 3 of 165 yards. Break it down for us, partner.
This gets really narrow in the middle of this green, Rich. That's sort of the biggest problem. Matter of fact, only had 12 yards from that left side to the right in the middle. And the green itself, actually, is 3 times that in length, 36 yards. So straightness is the key here.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Starting to put something special together. 6 under par. Now to the par 5 9th. Frank, what are we looking at here?
Well, for the longer hitters, it's actually a chance to reach a par 5 and 2. 300 yards is where that fairway starts to bend more to the left. So if you do the maths, it's going to give you roughly 250 yards to the middle sort of front left of that green. That's the easy way to play the hole. Make a mistake off the tee and you might find out this is a more difficult three-shotter than what you were anticipating.
Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball's sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here.
Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
So this is the third shot to the par 5. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Rack up another one.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Well, a hard hole after that tee shot has now become an easy hole.
It's the great equalizer. When you can drive the golf ball, Frank, just like that, boy, it opens up so many avenues, and he'll have plenty to choose from here. Looks good. Chance to make a birdie. Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A third straight birdie.
Some good playing.
That moves them to 8 under par. 2 straight birdies. Now we go to the 11th hole, and this is a par 5, but it's actually shorter than the par 4 10th. This one comes in at 530 yards, and more evidence of the kind of creativity by the award-winning design team of Patel and Duncan.
Well, that's right. Patel really is known to be the shaper. He's the one that makes all those interesting shapes for the bunkers. For example, here, nipping it in the fairway, making driver almost too much club or very, very risky, plus the front bunker there. Now, this is a great par 5. The reason why, it's reachable, it's tempting, but you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting on it.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough. They're missing it off the tee here. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
No doubt about that one. That was struck with confidence. Back here now at the 12th hole, par 4, 439 yards, Frank, to the center of this green off the black tees.
And if the breeze blows left or right, this hole plays very hard. One of the reasons why, just through the fairways littered with bunkers. So not only do you have to pick the right line, but somehow you've got to get that ball the right distance as that hole bends completely to the left. Rather interesting shaped green here at 12.
This is a stiff test, no doubt. Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards, just crushed it in the fairway. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seve-esque.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Now to the 13th hole, and Frank, this could make you quake in your soft spikes. 702 yards, par 5. It might be a par 6 or a 7.
Well, I think a few people will make 6 or 7 here. You're right. This is a rarity in golf, 700 yards. So forget about any thought of even getting close to this par 5 and 2. Plus, just to add insult to injury, the 2 bunkers off the tee are perfectly placed. They're about 298 yards, smack bang in the middle of that. I doubt you can get past those, but you need a good drive, really, to try and leave yourself a short third shot.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Doing whatever he wants with that golf ball. Moving it left, moving it right, hitting it straight when it's called for. He's doing it all. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now at the par 3 14th, over another body of water. Frank, you could make some big numbers on this golf course. I would think if you walk out of here today, having shot under par, you have to be really happy.
Certainly is big boy golf playing around the cliffs at Lighthouse Point, Rich. And this is another example here at this beefy par 3, 240 yards. You can see Lake Zimmer protects the front of this green and to the right. It's obviously where they get all their irrigation water from. But it's enough green left of the flag here. That's really what you're going to be looking at, that front left section.
15th hole, and Frank, a return to sanity. 387 yards, par 4.
Yeah, second easiest hole on the golf course. Bends a little to the left. Just avoid the sand left and that little pot bunker on the right. And you should be set up with a relatively short iron in to a green that, well, the only problem is if you go long.
Well, that is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Steeply up the hill here. This is going to play very long.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
All right, Frank, he has already secured the hat trick, 3 birdies in a row. This could be something pretty special.
It's starting to look very easy for him out here. A cursory look at the scorecard, Rich, and well, it looks hard at 240 yards, but that elevation is going to chew off quite a bit of yardage off the scorecard. Really, it's a good chance for a birdie on this closing stretch. V-shaped green, as long as you're on the right section of the green, could have a chance for birdie. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Okay, good shot on the dance floor. And getting ready for the putt. A good effort, a good par putt. Well, Frank, I love this par 5 17th. Not only is it fun to play, but if you head over the Juniata Crossway Bridge ahead, you can find Brent's Lobster Shack, which is one of the best lobster rolls I have ever had. And you know, they specialize in that up here in Maine. But what a hole. Ideal position, sitting up perfectly. Second from an excellent lie. Wow, way to the right here.
And there's rough over there.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
This has a good ring to it. Minus 14. Frank, it's been quite a journey to this point, but here we are, the 18th hole at Lighthouse Point.
It looks like a dogleg left, or it should play like a dogleg left. You might stand on that tee and think that you can take the direct line.
You can't get there from here, can you?
Good old Maine terminology there. So the goal really is to somehow find that fairway down the right. And, of course, it all depends on how far you fly that tee shot on the line you take. From there on in, just a short iron and maybe a chance to get another birdie and finish with a smile on your face.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
That is classy.
Well, a chance of going in.
He has this for a birdie. Always love to hear the sound of the bottom of the cup. Frank, I have to say, I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out here with a solid game plan and executed.
And consequently, a very solid round. Continuing with that kind of play can certainly put you in the winner's seat.
Frank, as we arrive here at 18, I'm thinking about what we so often hear up here in New England. You can't get there from here, or can you at this par 4 finishing hole?